Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Command Score Studio. Welcome to the show. Spoiler season just keeps on going, much like the vehicles in Aetherdrift. There we go, there's the connection. Let's jump into the spoilers today. Starting things off with Afterburner Expert. Yeah, this is some really cool art right there, but let's see what the card actually does and see if it is actually cool itself. A 4/2 Goblin Artificer for 3 mana in green, exhaust for 2 green, 2 counters on this creature. So again, activate each exhaust ability only one time. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, when it comes to exhaust decks out there, which if that's a thing, great. If not, this isn't going to really see all that much play. It's probably more of, I would say, a standard card, essentially. Like, yeah, it's a 4/2 for 3, so you get a little extra power there, but paying 4 mana to get 2 counters on it, not all that great. If you've got no other exhaust in your deck, then who cares? So, pretty interesting, though, that we are getting green goblins, though, and not from Spider-Man. Next up, we've got Spike Shell Harrier. Okay, first of all, I just want to say, Wizards included Mario Kart in this. This is the blue shell. Really? Okay. 4/4 Robot Turtle for 5 mana in blue. When this creature enters, return target creature, vehicle, and opponent controls to its owner's hand. If that opponent's speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce that opponent's speed by 1. Spectre can't reduce the speed by 1. Below 1, I should say. Yeah, I mean, cool. All right, like a 5 mana bounce. Like, there's better creatures out there when it comes to bouncing things. Yes, this can bounce a vehicle. It's more of a standard card, I would assume. I mean, probably not, maybe not even standard. I don't know. Depends on how good speed is in standard. But yeah, unless you're playing against your opponent's very specific speed deck in Commander, which sure, there are going to be a couple of those. They might be a little upset that you reduce their speed, but other than that, yeah, no, it's not even going to see play like in a blank deck. Next up, Fang Druid Summoner, a 2/4 Ape Druid for 4 mana in green. Reach. When this creature enters, you may search your library and or graveyard for a creature card. No abilities reveal up in your hand. You search your library way, shuffle it. Yeah, I mean, if you do have, like, no ability tribal, it's an interesting include because you can go get, like, your best no ability creature up there, like, you know, Gigantosaurus or whatnot, which can be absolutely huge, obviously, but also you're including then a creature in the deck that does have an ability, that does have an effect on it, essentially, so then you're kind of going against the rest of the deck, potentially, if you're going all vanilla creatures. So definitely keep that in mind. That, like, Ruxa, kind of. I think Rux is the commander for no ability creatures. There's probably going to be some other ones. Hint, hint, wink, wink, coming up here in a little bit, maybe, though. Moving on. Rise from the Wreck. A sorcerer, 3 mana in green. Draw up to 1 creature card, up to 1 mount card, up to 1 vehicle card, up to 1 target. Creature card, no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. Now, here's the thing. I mean, money jackpot, absolutely amazing play if you hit all that. That is literally 3 mana. Just bring back 4 things, essentially, to your hand, not to the battlefield. It's not reanimation, it is recursion. That being said, yeah, a very specific deck wants this, I guess. I mean, if you do have, say, again, a vehicle mount deck, yeah, you can bring 3 creatures back pretty easily, I would assume. Technically, you probably wouldn't have ones that have no abilities in that deck, too, but you never know. So, I mean, I guess if you have a no abilities deck, you could bring back 2 creatures without having to worry about mounts and vehicles. But, you know, there's better ways to spend your mana. It's just an okay card. I mean, for vehicle decks and mount decks specifically, yeah, maybe. It could be a good recursion spell for you, but outside of that, probably not. Moving on. Pit Automation. Or Automaton. Or Automation. Yeah, Automaton. A 0/4 Construct with Defender for 2 mana. Tap to add 2 colorless, spend this mana, only activate abilities. Pay 2, tap. When you activate an exhaust ability, turn copy, choose targets to the copy. Yeah, again, specifically if there is like an exhaust tribal kind of deck out there that ends up being a thing, sure. If not, no. But probably wouldn't even make play like in like defender decks unless you have like defender decks that actually have a good amount of abilities in them too. Then sure, if that would be the case, if you get like a, you know, big toughness deck and you have some abilities, maybe an ability on a commander that you want to activate, then yes, it could definitely be a consideration. Next up, we got Trade the Helm. Here, you take the wheel. Sorcery for 5 mana in blue. Exchange control of target artifact your creature control and target artifact your creature opponent controls. Cycling for 2. So, yeah, if you have my deck that I maybe deconstructed because it was a bit too mean. I didn't realize it was going to be too mean, even though I should have known it was going to be a bit too mean with the swaps deck, essentially, where, yeah, equivalent exchange is what I called it. Full Metal Alchemist, anyone? And you swap things around. Great. players that still some other players may consider that stealing and not just swapping, though, you know, when you're giving them a really terrible creature for their really good creature, or you give them a creature, you blink it. Outside of that, cycling decks can be considered as well. Again, we are getting closer and closer and closer to my Fluctuator deck, the all Fluctuator deck. Cannot wait for that to happen, but yeah, 2 cycling is amazing because Fluctuator makes that free. So yeah, cycling decks out there, and also theft decks can consider this one too. Next up, Collision Course, a source for 2 mana in white. Sorcery, choose 1. Deals X damage to our creature, X the number of permanents you control that are creatures and or vehicles, destroy target artifact. I mean, for like a go-wide strategy, it could be like basically take out a creature or take out an artifact. You don't have to care about the vehicles necessarily all that much. Like if you have vehicles, great. That being said, again, when it comes to removal, not always, but the vast majority of the time, you pretty much want it to be, instant speed. And it being sorcery speed really, really hampers it quite a bit. So yeah, it's probably more so a card that's probably not going to see play in Commander. Next up, Daring Mechanic. Is that Mario? Did they have literally like the blue shell and then also Mario in this? Or am I just kind of generalizing the dude with the mustache? I don't know. Anyways, in the red suit, maybe it looks like Mario, like the plumber. It looks like Mario. Okay, 3/3 Human Artificer for 3 mana in white. Pay 4 mana in total. Put a counter on target mount or vehicle. Yeah, I don't think it'd probably even see play in a vehicle deck. Probably that's pretty hefty cost right there. Next up though, okay, Spire Mech Cycle, a 5/4 vehicle with haste with crew 2. It costs 5 mana. Exhaust. Tap another tap mount or vehicle. Control this vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a counter on it for each mount or vehicle you control other than this vehicle. I mean, yeah, for a vehicle deck, that could be a pretty big, beefy creature, essentially. And again, pretty hasty, too, so you can, yeah, I mean, swing through right away with a good amount of damage. That being said, again, there is that upside downside of turning this permanently into an artifact creature game, because it says this vehicle becomes an artifact creature, does not stay until end of turn. It permanently makes it into a creature, meaning that, well, it is now susceptible to board wipes. Versus it being a vehicle, it's less susceptible because, again, most board wipes that take out creatures are sorcery speed. So, yeah, it is a card that, again, can be a good, like, heavy hitter for you, essentially. Yeah, getting a lot of counters on it in a vehicle or mount deck, cool. Outside of that, probably not a card you're going to see playing. Next up. Okay, here we go. The real spice. Okay, this is amazing. I mean, we already heard that this was going to be happening for tomorrow, but now we actually get to see them in practice. At least a couple of them, I should say. We have Tarian World Tyrant, a legendary creature, dinosaur ooze that is a 9/7 for 5 mana and green, and it does absolutely nothing. Yep, it's a vanilla creature. I mean, I guess it comes like, vanilla. I want to kind of give it like an ice cream flavor name, but then that would be like mint chocolate chip, but no, it's like that vanilla is kind of the thing. It's just like vanilla, they dyed green. Yeah, a 9/7 for 5 mana. That is a really heavy hitter, obviously. It's a giant vanilla creature. So obviously if you have a vanilla creature deck, or just even a Power Matters deck, essentially, yeah, that could definitely see play in those types of decks, essentially. Yeah, 9/7 for 5 mana is definitely not nothing. And as a commander, again, keep in mind that it is very easily a 3-shot KO on anyone. Could very easily become a 2-shot KO just by getting an extra 2 power. And a 1-shot KO, sure, if you've got like Fire Shrieker plus, an extra 2 power, there you go. You're at 22 power, and you take an opponent out. Lovely. But yeah, again, when it comes to like, I love when they do these kind of things. Like this is like, okay, the new Yargle Moltani, and then also some really, really old, obviously like vanilla legendary creatures. They haven't really had any vanilla ones in a long, long time, except for, again, Yargle Moltani. And now we're getting some new ones, and I absolutely love it. And some interesting build-arounds for sure. Next up, we got Calaxion, Hunger Tyrant, there we go. A 7/2 Crocodile for just 3 mana in black. And again, does absolutely nothing because it is a vanilla creature. So yeah, again, it literally is just a 7/2 for 3 mana. So a 3-shot KO coming down on turn 3 or even earlier. Again, literally you could turn 1 Dark Ritual this. Good luck, opponents. Turn 1 Dark Ritual, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, clock's going. Who's going to get taken out? If you don't get any blockers up, you are in trouble, because that is, again, 3 shots for a KO. Obviously, when it comes to like additional ways to pump, there are certain ones in black that can be very effective. Yeah, you want to at least get to 11 power so you can make that into a 2-shot KO. But of course, yeah, if you get double strike in with like a Fire Shrieker type effect, there you go as well. Or like Hatred could get you there too, but I guess Hatred can get you there with anything, but obviously it takes a little less life to do so. But finally, and the one that I'm going to do a quick take on, because I think it's got, I don't know about the most potential, but I think it's the funniest actually right now. And we haven't seen yet the blue or the blue or white ones. I don't believe. And they said a cycle, so that means all 5, right, Wizards? Come on, give us all 5, right, please? Tyrox, Saurid, Tyrant, a 4/1 Dinosaur Warrior for 2 mana in red. Yeah, this is literally, again, just a vanilla creature. Can we call it like strawberry vanilla? I don't know, it's red, right? Come on, no? Okay. Regardless, it is literally just a 4/1 for 2 mana. Typically, again, like over the years, it has become like more and more like, first of all, we had like bears, right, for 2 mana. Like, okay, it's a 2/2 for 2. That makes sense. Eventually, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a 3/1 for 2. Wow! And now we've got a 4/1 for 2, and it's like, oh my goodness. I'm building a deck around this really derpy dinosaur warrior because why not? So yeah, being able to just say, okay, I've got 4 power, which this one, it's a little bit different on the math, right? The previous two we talked about is a 3-shot KO with a 7/2 and with a 9/7. This is a 4 power creature. It gets to 20 and 4 hits, sorry, 5 hits, but it doesn't get to 21 quite there. So it takes 6 hits to actually take someone out. But of course, we're in red. We've got plenty of ways to mess with power and plenty of ways to say, you know what, let's get there just a bit quicker than that and make it so that we are making opponent's life absolutely miserable by getting this down quite early, starting to swing at them and taking them out so fast that, well, they're going to have to reshuffle their deck and sit around for a while to wait everyone else finishes the game. So, yeah, have fun. Let's jump into some cards that work well that to consider for Tyrox, Saurid, Tyrant. Okay, first up, if you've got $46 lying around, Gemstone Caverns, a legendary land. If it's in your opening hand and you're not playing first, you may begin the game with it and play, and put a luck counter on it. If you do, remove a card in your hand from the game, tap to add a colorless. If it's got a luck counter on it, instead add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Basically, extra free land if you're not the first player and it's in your opening hand. So when that happens, obviously, you can get your commander down on turn 1, which is quite nice because then you can start the pain train. And you're also going to continue that pain train with, well, Assault Strobe. Very simple, very effective. Sorcery, a single red mana. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Literally, again, just a way to say, you know what, we're going from 4 to 8, or of course, combines incredibly well with any other pump effects, because let's say you've got, and we'll go through some of these in a little bit, a way to give, say, +3, which is very simple, very easy. +3 power, all of a sudden we're at 7, again, that is a 3-shot KO. You had the double strike on there too, and all of a sudden, you have done 14 damage to someone. So yeah, all of a sudden they are really close to getting taken out already, and it's probably like turn 3, turn 4, maybe even earlier than that. Next up, Cliffhaven, Kite Sail. Easy ways to get your commander through are going to be very effective with this build. An equipment for a single mana, enters the battlefield, immediately attached to a creature you control. Equip creature is flying, equip 2. So it's not all that expensive to re-equip if you need to, but right away you get to freely attach it, which is huge. And again, great evasion to get your commander through on an opponent. Speaking of which, pump and evasion, if you've got $31 lying around, my gosh, this is getting expensive. And equipment for 1, we've got Commander's Plate. Equip 3 for the Commander. Equip creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your Commander's color identity. This is massive for this Commander, obviously, because with Commander's Plate, the less colors your Commander has, the better this is, and your Commander is just 1 color. So literally, it's got protection from everything that is not red, which means that you're getting through on the vast majority of opponents, and it's protected from a lot of spells. And of course, that +3/+3 puts it into range of a 3-shot KO. Titan Strength, very simple, very effective. Instant for a single red mana, +3/+1 until end of turn, scry 1. So yeah, being able to just pump our commander again to get a 3-shot KO range, or again, utilize those doubling effects to make it even more. All of a sudden, we also get to scry 1, 2 to actually, set up our next draw. Speaking of setting things up though, Bulk Up, a huge card for this deck. Double target creature's power until end of turn for 2 mana, flash it back for 6. So again, not only do we have double strike effects in red, but we also have doubling up power effects as well, like this one, and you can flash this back again. But yeah, being able to do that ensures that, yeah, you know what, I can really take advantage of all those flip effects, and also I can utilize doubling effects on top of my double strike effects to, well, go quite crazy. I mean, just think about this plus, Titan Strength plus your double strike Assault Strobe, and all of a sudden that is, I believe, 28 damage, I think that would be essentially, right? 7 times 2 is 14, times 2 again essentially is 28. So yeah, again, you literally could just play your commander on turn 2, do absolutely nothing on turn 3, and turn 4, swing with your commander, cast all 3 of these things, and your opponent is gone. And there's a lot of different combinations, a lot of different cards that do the same things. Hero's Blade, another great card for this deck. And equipment for 2. 2 creatures +3/+2. Legendary creature is battlefield control. You may attach it to it. Equip 4. This is one that, once you get it out, you never have to pay for that equip cost again. You're just attaching it to your commander immediately, and all of a sudden your commander, again, is in that 3-shot KO range. The Iron Crag. Actually, a mana rock that can help you out as well. Ledger Artifact for 2. Tap for a colorless. When a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it become the Iron Crag, I should say, not your commander. Become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains 3, and equipped creature gets +3 to lose all their abilities. So essentially, you can utilize the mana rock, and then eventually, when you need to, say, you know what? I'd rather have it be an equipment. Cool. Now all of a sudden it's +3/+3 and utilizes my commander in the best way. Simian Spirit Guide, yet another great card again for that turn 1 commander play. 2/2 Ape Spirit for 3 mana. Exile from your hand, add red. Yeah, this and other ritual effects can help as well. But yeah, being able to just get your commander out immediately, or yeah, kind of like reach for an extra spell on a turn, can be the game-ending decision. Next up, Two-Handed Axe, a great card for multiple reasons. Equipment for 3. You can pay 2 for its Sweeping Cleave, Instant Adventure. Target creature control gains double strike until end of turn. Already talked about why that's good. On top of that, though, whenever creature attacks, double its power until end of turn is its equip ability. So yeah, put it on your commander later and just double up that power every single time. Blood Mist, a free way to get double strike once you get this in play repeatedly. Enchant for 4 mana and red. Beginning of combat on your turn, target creature control gains double strike until end of turn. Again, you only care about your commander, so yeah, even though it's not your entire team, who cares? Speaking of who cares, Furnace of Wrath. If you want to go really hard into the paint with this kind of a commander, and you definitely do, Furnace of Wrath is the card for you. 4 mana in red, enchantment of a source, would deal damage to a creature or player, deals double the damage to that creature player instead. Again, does not say you control. There are cards that do say you control. There's like enchantments that cost like 1 more than this typically. That being said, yeah, let's get a little greedy and say, you know what? I'm just going to pay the 4 mana, and all of a sudden, everyone's damage doubles. Let's see who gets there first, everyone. And yeah, you get out there and you take opponents out with your Strawberry Vanilla Commander. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.